We're watching Dr. Mike, Can We Save My Patients with Food?
Doctors don't know anything about nutrition, but today I'm joined by the one and only Nick DiGiovanni, world-class chef, world-class YouTuber, to help me fix my patients' problems. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
In this video, I'm gonna present you medical cases, and I'm gonna ask you to prepare a meal to help fix what ails them. 34-year-old male stumbles into the clinic looking like he just washed ashore from a pirate ship. He complains of months of fatigue, aching joints, and gums that bleed. He admits that his diet for the past 6 months has largely consisted of instant ramen,
Of course, something with no nutrients, chicken nuggets, no nutrients.
chicken nuggets, and an unholy amount of unhealthy energy drinks. When asked about fruit and vegetables, he laughs and says, "Do French fries count?"
Uh-oh.
They don't.
They don't.
Any idea?
So this was actually kind of my diet, and I did have a lot of similar symptoms. I had ulcers a lot.
That's what our patient has.
My best guess is that you have scurvy.
Wow,
I
good
get it?
job.
By the way, this is real. I guessed that for real.
I need you to prepare a vegetarian.
Whatever it is, it doesn't matter whether it's scurvy or not, because it's not fixed with vitamin C, which is what they're adding here. I've always seen ulcers and problems like that, like he was describing, to go away when I cooked my meat less. So basically what it means is you need some raw animal protein and fat. Like that's literally like what you need to get those proper nutrients to actually go in, because if you're only eating overcooked meat, like a chicken breast, for example, people cook it all the way through because chicken is very toxic, then of course you're gonna have that kind of problem. What you should be doing is eating a steak and eating the steak raw in the middle. That's how you fix that issue.
Taco salad, trying to maximize the amount of.
Vitamin C. So first I'm gonna go grapefruit actually.
Oh, grapefruit.
And I'm gonna
How do you
make-
tell the difference between a grapefruit and an orange? Is one
It's like
grapier
an orange
than the
that
other?
got tan. I'm gonna start.
Don't get me wrong, an orange, grapefruit, whatever will help. It will help because it has some nutrition in it. It even looks like what I'm talking about, but it's not going to fix the entire problem. It might help a little bit. I did notice when I was young and I would take some vitamin C, it would help a little with the ulcers and stuff, but it would never be as good as literally just when I'm eating raw in the middle steaks. That's when it goes the best.
We'll put some corn in there. Balance those out with the beans.
Okay.
Okay.
And it makes
Black
sense
beans, great source of fiber.
because vitamin C is heat resistant, or the opposite of that, heat sensitive. So if you're going to be cooking your steak all the way through, then you're going to be cooking all the nutrients all the way through. It's not going to have that vitamin C. And so, of course, that guy's going to develop scurvy if he's eating overcooked meat and basically the chicken nuggets, right? And also the instant ramen, that's no.
Instead of humans. So let's start seasoning this up. First, we'll put the olive oil.
Right.
Why don't you go in with a little bit of honey, just a tiny, tiny bit of honey.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Chili powder, because this is a taco salad. Go ahead with some pepper.
What the fuck is this meal?
Interesting form for pepper. You kind of held it way further out than I've ever seen anyone hold it.
It will help the bleeding gums, maybe. He's getting some like minerals, some nutrients, but not a whole lot of actual nutrition, like not solid nutrition, which only comes from animal products, basically.
Okay. Nice pinch of salt. Let's go in with a little bit of just some nice all-purpose seasoning, just to like.
Okay. All purpose?
Just to round it out
it's a
little bit.
purpose.
Yeah. Grab a bunch of that lettuce and put some in there. Okay.
Lettuce, the absolute biggest starvation food ever. The only food that you would eat if you were starving. Literally, just green leaves from a tree. It's not human food, man. What the hell? Otherwise,
I just
there wouldn't
created
be
a
world
bed of
hunger.
lettuce.
We'll just go all-purpose seasoning on that. Toss that up super
A bunch
gently.
of seasoning, bro. The seasoning, because none of that shit tastes good because it's all disgusting.
This doesn't have to look too crazy, right?
No, human food.
We want to.
He's a pirate after all.
He's a
Need to
pirate. He
add
doesn't
seasoning.
care. Yep. That's good. And then to finish it off, we'll just take a few chips.
Chips. He already
Think of it as the
eats
croutons.
And this is a
junk food. He already eats instant ramen and shit like that. This is basically the same as what he was eating before, but with some fruit. The vegetables are nothing. The fruit does have some nutrients.
pirate from South America, so they're really gonna appreciate the meal.
They're gonna love this. It's a little bit of like a fun mess of stuff. Look at
my
that.
God.
I got everything. Oh no.
I mean,
I had everything.
What a great medley of flavors.
Yeah, good luck trying to get him to eat that. He would probably gag it out instantly just because of all the green.
All right, now I have to give you the doctor rating on it.
Okay. Okay.
You chose Amazing ingredients.
Okay.
But you did not choose
Uh-oh.
the most vitamin C rich ingredient on the table in front of you.
Is it kiwis? Yeah, well,
It has more vitamin C than an orange. I don't believe that. I don't care what it says, but either way, vitamin C from orange, kiwis, who cares? It's better. You're better off eating the actual animal, which has the vitamin C.
where do the kiwis fit here, though?
32-year-old female presents to the clinic with chronic diarrhea, bloating, and fatigue that have progressively worsened over the last 6 months. She frequently experiences abdominal discomfort and excessive gas. She also notes unintentional weight loss despite maintaining her usual diet. She denies fever, vomiting, blood and stool, or
Okay, obviously IBS, or yeah, it will have too much fiber. Basically everything in the oh man, they're gonna kill her basically.
recent travel. Of interesting note, the patient is a huge fan of Domino's.
Okay, junk food, the oil can really upset the stomach. Something else you need to know is that this kind of feeling as well will also happen with bad quality meat. So like if you buy red meat, let's say you leave it raw in the middle, but it's actually from a bad cow, like it's not a healthy cow, then it can actually lead to some stuff like that, which could have something to do with the pizza.
Shoot. Maybe you're celiac or maybe you're lactose intolerant. Something is not being digested properly when you eat it. Probably you may be lactose intolerant. It's celiac.
It was celiac. So in this case, the reason why I think it's more likely to be celiac is because of that unintentional weight loss. For this patient, you will be preparing for them an Asian noodle gluten-free meal.
I can make that work. Let's see what we got here. We've got some lo mein noodles. Those have gluten, I believe, so we're not going to use those. Soba noodle.
Have you never wondered why we are gluten intolerant? It's like with all the cats and the dogs. You get a cat and a dog, pet, right? You get them pet food. And then they start developing problems. And then there's those grain-free pet foods that say gluten-free or whatever for the pet, because the pet, the dog, the cat, the human can't understand, they can't digest it well. It's the same. The reason why we're friends with dogs, if you haven't noticed, is because we eat the same as dogs. We are carnivores. That's what we are. Otherwise, we wouldn't be friends with dogs. We would be friends with monkeys, but we're fucking not. Okay, we would be friends with chickens, which are other omnivores, but we're not. We're friends with literally cats and dogs, which are all carnivores. We are carnivores. It works the same way.
Noodles for sure, gluten-free.
The only plants that we can eat are all cultivated right here. They're not actually even... They are natural because they're natural, but...
Made of buckwheat. They don't... Soba noodles are gluten-free. Why are you coughing?
I have a cough.
Oh, they have organic wheat flour, though, in them.
You can't find any of this in the wild and actually eat it. The only thing you'd be able to eat in the wild would be fruit and meat, really. Which
One
is,
for sure is
For
gluten-free.
sure?
Rice noodles, yeah. It says gluten-free on the packaging.
Now you know it's gotten serious.
Bro, they're gonna kill her. They're gonna... this fiber is just gonna worsen the gut problems she was having, which could be from gluten, or could also be from this kind of stuff as well. Of course it could.
Is there zest in garlic, or is that not? That's a citrus
No,
thing.
that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I'm almost deep frying them in the olive oil right
Yeah,
now.
I could see the depth in that frying.
I need to
We're not supposed to eat basically any of this. It's really bad for the stomach. Everyone knows if whoever eats vegetables always farts badly and everything. And also, it's very simple. These onions and things like that is so bad that you wouldn't be able to eat a lot of it. You can only eat a little bit of it because of how bad it is. That's why it makes you cry and shit like that when you cut it open.
tiny bit of honey. This is gonna help the caramelized onions just a little bit extra.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Soy
why the fuck
sauce
are you
might
adding it whilst cooking? Just completely pasteurizing the honey, making it into free sugar.
be gluten-free. Soybeans, water, wheat, and salt. That's not gluten-free. So I think I'm gonna go with the coconut aminos. It's just organic coconut tree sap.
Do you see how it could sneak its way in there?
Here's what I'm gonna do. This is kind of crazy, right? You'd never think that you could just cook these.
Oh yeah, people are intolerant to wheat, and yet the food pyramid is made like 80% of bread. That's crazy.
Here, right?
You can cook that in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna put these
Most
in.
people
Okay,
eat
ready?
80% bread.
Yeah.
Think about it.
We'll use some coconut aminos in there.
I
Have
always
fun
say
with
2 pump,
it. You could do a little more.
3 pump.
That's good. You got it all over the counter.
Whoa,
bunch
Isn't that
of-
crazy?
happening?
Yeah.
A bunch of sauces, seasonings, everything, because they hate it so much. They need that strong taste. So they use a bunch of things which, look, they only use a tiny little bit of, of everything. Every ingredient is like a tiny little bit of it. Because if you eat more than the tiny little bit they're using, you realize you hate it because of how horrible it is. You just want the strong taste of it. It's all basically so horrible. Not like... The video is pretty good and stuff. I'm not saying like it's horrible. It's just... The food just tastes bad.
So...
To our senses.
And then we'll just put like some of the green onions over the top. A few nice leaves. We can go like the tiniest little drizzle, but I don't want a lot.
Oh, okay.
Barely sesame oil, okay? More lime zest. Sprinkle that over the whole thing. And then after that, I think you as the patient should try it.
And it tastes gluten-free. I know there's no gluten. I have a sensor.
Do you really?
No. I'm a 38-year-old male now, and I present to you with sudden onset, severe colicky pain on my right side that started a few hours ago. The pain is sharp, it's intermittent, and I can't seem to find a good position, constantly moving around. And I recently started following a famous IG health influencer who recommended taking a lot of supplements.
Can you jump? Okay, you can jump. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna potentially rule out appendicitis.
Okay, that's actually a thing we do in pediatrics. When we jump, you shake your insides. If there's pain, it could be a sign that there's an acute abdomen.
What do most of the supplements are they made of? Do you know?
The one that was recommended to me was for strong bones.
Interesting. Do you know what makes bones strong?
No.
Calcium.
Exercise? Oh, calcium.
Calcium. I'm wondering if you...
He says exercise. A lot of people say that the best thing to make bones strong is exercise. Obviously not, by the way, because bones can't be made bigger by something that makes them smaller. When you're exercising, it makes the muscles smaller, for example. You're using up the bones. Yeah, okay, they grow back bigger later because they adapt to the stress, but it doesn't mean that you're making them bigger from doing the thing. It actually makes it smaller. The recovery from the thing makes them bigger, but the actual thing that helps actually build the bone is, of course, the nutrients itself, not anything else.
You have a kidney stone, and then it might be kind of up there.
So you'll send me for what kind of test?
I'm gonna send you for a calcium test.
It starts with a C, but it's not a
Okay.
calcium test. It's not a dog. It's
A cat. Cat test. Cat scan.
Cat scan!
I got too locked in on the whole cat test is such a stupid answer.
I need you to cook me a meal that is low in oxalates.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. It could have oxalates and that. Look, what is he gonna use now, dude? Yeah, a bunch of eggs, because that's the only thing you have there, basically, because every plant, basically, or anything that's not a fruit, especially, is going to be really high in oxalates, and they'll cause kidney stones and stuff, if you were to live long enough to actually get them. Most people don't. Maybe they live like to 80 years old, and they die before getting their kidney stones. Some people get them in their lifetime. But the point is, you're not supposed to be eating this stuff if it causes you problems long term.
That form is fine. Can I try one?
That worked in a weird way. Sweet potatoes, I'm feeling like, are quite healthy, so they're good.
Well, not
They're high in oxalates.
They're not.
necessarily.
Okay, that's...
Am I whisking okay?
Yeah.
Like this, right?
Yeah, that's a weird way to whisk.
You go from above.
Yeah, because I don't want to put too much air in this. We're trying to make a French omelet. It's not easy to make, but we're going to give it our best shot.
Okay.
Butternut squash, I'm feeling like might be a good move.
That's a good move.
Is it? Yeah, I'm going to use it in...
Squash is a fruit, like on the inside, so of course it's not going to have as high oxalates. Nowadays they kind of do because they're picked unripe and they ripen while they go to your house, and so it's not as good, but it's still going to, on a baseline level, have low amount of oxalates.
kind of a creative way.
I don't even know what squash is. What's squash?
Kind of like a pumpkin.
Oh.
A nice knob of butter, okay? Not too much.
Yeah, look, butter, fruit, eggs/meat thing, like, yeah, of course, this is literally how you eat, basically.
The egg, I'm not gonna season it up with any salt, with anything yet. Maybe just a little bit of pepper. We could do a little bit of pepper. So why don't you put a little bit of pepper in there?
Pepper on this.
Yep. Oh, no, no.
Oh, what am I doing? That was a test.
That was not a test. I thought you'd know that it goes in the eggs and not just into the pan.
But where are the eggs ultimately gonna go?
That was so weird that you just did that. I want the egg to cook into like these really small little curds. I don't want like big, thick pieces of egg.
What makes an omelet?
Bro, just eat eggs, bro, in their natural state, not like that. Like, you gotta be very careful when you're eating eggs raw, but it is very hydrating to eat them raw. I've never had a problem with eating them raw just because they're so small. Like, you don't eat a lot of eggs, so if they are like gonna cause you a problem, it would probably be if you ate like 500 grams of it, which you're not gonna do. And I also only eat the yolk, so it's even less. And I buy very high quality eggs. You gotta be kind of careful though.
French method of cooking it.
And what is the French method of cooking it?
This. And with some of this. Okay. It's almost like a mush.
Do you want to put some spinach in there?
Sure. But we gotta decide
High oxalates.
pretty fast because I gotta roll this thing up soon. Oh, is that good?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't.
This is one of the most oxalate-rich
That's ridiculous.
foods.
Feta cheese is fine though.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you think I knew that?
It comes from an animal.
I don't know. How did you know?
I didn't. I just guessed.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, this pan is just giving me a tough.
He just guessed, as in his intuition just told him. It comes from an animal. By the way, milk has no oxalates, 0, and it can't have any. Why? Because the fucking cow doesn't want to poison its children. And also, meat has no oxalates because the cow isn't supposed to be poisoned. This is how you know that it's supposed to be good for you, because it, for example, milk has every nutrient basically, because they want to give their cows, the animal, every nutrient it needs to grow. So when you drink raw milk from a cow, you're getting every nutrient that you need to grow because the cow is purposefully doing that for you.
Time today. What I want to be able to do is just to flip this over. It's not a good French omelet, but
It looks like a good French omelet. What makes this a bad French
The
omelet?
French omelet is supposed to be perfectly smooth. I think that always be nice to finish it with like a nice
Crumble, yeah.
dusting of feta cheese, and then we do need
Light salt because you don't want to go high sodium.
Barely
Yeah,
salt.
barely.
I'm gonna go ahead and just melt the tiniest bit of butter.
Oh.
To finish it off, just a few of these
Low in oxalates.
arugula microgreens.
Low in oxalates, but probably high in something else that acts just like oxalates in the body or some shit. They all work the same.
Which are
It basically looks the same as the food that was high in oxalates, so how are you supposed to know?
very low in oxalates.
And what makes them micro?
They're small.
Look at that.
Looks good.
The concern was unwarranted, and the patient's doing fantastic.
Oh,
I think my kidney stone just passed.
wow. Right on the floor?
No, into my bladder from my ureter.
Oh, okay.
22-year-old male. I'm presenting to you in an urgent care setting with severe painful rash on my back, shoulders, and upper arms after spending the entire day at the beach 2 days ago. I have redness, swelling, and blistering that started within a few hours of sun exposure and has continually worsened. The areas are extremely
He is probably going to be cholesterol deficient.
tender to touch, and I have difficulty sleeping due to the burning. I also happen to follow a famous health influencer who believes the sun is their friend and sunscreen is dangerous.
Oh, what a dangerous influencer believing this. I'm basically that influencer, bro. What the fuck do you mean the sun is not dangerous? Like, what do you mean? Of course the sun is your friend. This guy's afraid of the sun. All the doctors are the same, bro. Afraid of the sun. Like, can we go back to like what, like 5 years ago, where people would be like, "Oh look, he's inside all day. He doesn't like the sun," and they would make fun of that guy. No, now he's health conscious. What the fuck? No, the sun is good for you. Okay, sunscreen is bad for you. Of course it is. If you don't want to get burnt, you should be eating a very high cholesterol diet, which saturated fat as well, low in seed oils, but especially low in polyunsaturated fat, linoleic acid. Then you won't burn. Then you won't burn the normal amount. You'll have like the normal healthy amount of protection from the sun, but you can still burn if you overdo it. But that would be like, you would notice it, like it would start really hurting and you would just turn around. It wouldn't be like, you wouldn't burn from accidental exposure like this guy.
You got a bad heat rash from the sun.
I have a bad sunburn,
You have a bad sunburn.
very bad.
Yeah, really
And because
bad.
there's a presence of blisters,
Yeah.
that means it's a
It's a second-degree burn.
correct.
Yeah.
So serious that I need to be hospitalized urgently. You need to up my calories by about 50% for the day and increase protein by about 100% to allow my tissues to heal. And we think about adding extra protein and extra calories. You think?
Steak. Here we go, okay? We'll go
Yes.
steak on our cutting board. Just some
Yeah, specifically the fat, not exactly protein. I don't know why he mentioned that, but the fat. Collagen could probably help because the skin is made out of collagen, so maybe a cut that had more collagen would be even better.
simple pepper, nice salt all over, okay? Same thing on the other side.
But that's just a
Avocado
guess.
oil. Also, calories.
Calories.
right?
120 per tablespoon.
Lay the steak away from you.
Oh, so it doesn't pop.
Yep. Calories.
Calories.
See that? Calories.
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 Calories. That's what I always
Calories.
say.
Nutrition, bro, is getting lucky. This guy with the sunburn is really getting lucky. The butter is probably 100% butter, yeah, literally. So it's going to be helping his cholesterol and vitamin D synthesis and everything, which basically, think about it. Where do you get vitamin D from? From like an animal. You get it from the fat. You don't find it in the protein. So if you think about it, then how, obviously fat, so you need to eat the fat for vitamin D synthesis. Like, it works perfectly.
That's where we're gonna get all the flavor, okay? Hear that crackling?
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's the water in the thyme.
Calories.
Calories.
You're really taking the calories to heart. I'm a medium rare guy.
You are. I'm a medium guy.
Okay.
Yeah, both of them are kind of disgusting. Blue rare is the best way you can have your steak.
You strike me as a medium guy.
Yeah, I'm a medium guy. Normally I'd want like a yellow mustard.
The more cooked people like their steaks, the worse off they are as a man, and it's just so obvious. The people who have it all completely overcooked are like Karens, like blue haired feminists, and then the one that leave it like medium rare, like kind of based online, and then the ones that leave it like rare are like the macho men that are like big and like they can fuck anyone up.
But just for like a little bit of extra flavor on the
Wow,
steak.
okay.
Let's just let that kind of melt. Let's put a tiny bit of this in here as well.
That watch football and drink pints of beer, and they would like fuck anyone up.
Just for like extra flavor, you know? I think I could experiment a little bit.
Oh, okay, I like the experiment.
Yeah, I could experiment a little bit. All the probiotics. Look, I got like all this cheese that I can just.
Ooh.
That looks.
Like a good steak, and there is quite a good amount of nutrition in the middle, right? It's quite pink and stuff still, so it's not bad at all. But it really does look like weird diarrhea on the steak. I really don't understand why they have to use so many fucking sauces and different seasonings and shit. Like, what are little diarrhea marks on the top of the steak? Like, why do you have to do that? Why not just have the steak with the butter? And okay, even the fucking green leaf that he put in there for some reason that gives it flavor or whatever.
It's crazy.
That looks so good.
Yeah, it does look really good.
And you're hitting me with the lemon?
Boom. We're done. Yeah. Take a nice little bite with like everything, you know?
Oh, look at that. That has everything.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty good.
His brain is about to light up, being like, saturated fat, cholesterol, the thing that the doctors told us was bad all this time in the medical school. So good. And then he's gonna be like, oh, but make sure you moderate it. But look how it's gonna light up now when his brain finally gets what it wants. Did the iris get bigger? I'm pretty sure it just did.
Do you think that you basically just tricked me to cook for you for like 3 hours?
I mean,
Pretty much that's what I did.
can you blame me? Student Dr. Nick, I now humbly award you the graduating fake stethoscope award that you can now use to just wear as a prop around your neck in future videos. And on that note, since these foods helped save our patients, click here for a video where
That's interesting. I guess I'll watch that.